Hi guys, welcome to this week's video, which is something I'd like to address that has been in the media recently. So I know that, a lot of people have preconceptions, stereotypes and judgments towards others. It's sadly a part of life. It's something we will all go through at every age and every stage of our life. Something that I actually spoke out about was, people always ask me, how do other women treat you? And being a mum, having 2 young children, walking them to the school gates, I actually do feel highly judged in all that I do. The fact that I was a young mum, had my daughter at 19, I was always looked down upon for being young, for treated almost as if I wasn't good enough to be a parent because I was just a child myself, which, is true. When I had a child as a teenager, I was very young and immature in life, but actually it's taught me so much and made me the person I am today. So I would not change it for the world. I actually think that young parents don't necessarily make bad parents. They don't feel as though, it comes with a rule book and you can only be a good parent when you're a certain age. Some people actually are never going to be a good parent. Other people take to it like a duck to water. And personally, it gave me that passion and drive and purpose in life from a young age to be able to work hard, to achieve more, to provide and protect for those that need my help. So actually, for me, being a young parent, whilst older mothers would look down their nose at me, it made me who I am today, and I would not change it for the world. And I think had I have had my children now, in my 30s, I would not have had the enthusiasm, the energy, the time to be able to give them as much love and support as I have. So for me personally, that worked really well. It might not be right for everybody. So bear in mind when I'm going to the school gates, most mums are 10 to 20 years older than me. So I instantly kind of stick out as this kind of person that isn't like everybody else. Now I've got blonde, red hair, I have tattoos, obviously, and I bodybuild. I train every day of the week. So I'm normally in gym wear, in leggings and things, and yes, I have curves, and yes, I take pride in my appearance, I'd like to say, but I'm not the most glamorous person. I have had surgeries, but I don't think that I'm anything special. So the media picked up on this and actually said that women look at me at the school gates like I want to steal their husbands. It's received quite a lot of backlash actually, which I knew it would anyway. Most people write about me without ever having spoken to me. And it's something that I feel the way that I can truly put my point across is through my social media, is through people being able to actually see me rather than just a headline. So this notion that people look at me like I'm going to steal their husband, is something that I think a lot of attractive women find. Now, I'm not calling myself attractive. I'm not calling myself unattractive. I'm just me. I finger comb my hair. I literally wear sportswear all the time. I can't walk in heels to save my life. I am just me, and I do what makes me happy without harming others. But actually, when I'm on the school run, there is this one particular person who is a mother who makes me feel very, very uncomfortable. And she's older than me, I would say maybe 15 years older. She glares at me, literally spots me a mile off and then just glares at me the whole time. And I feel so uncomfortable. I don't know her, I've never spoken to her. I literally just walk my children to and from school. And she's somebody that actually seems to take a very big dislike to me, which, it's just based on preconceptions. So one day I actually received a message on social media, and it was from a man, and he was saying, "You look really good, and can I take you out?" Like saying all these compliments and things. And I ignored it because, I'm not into that. And actually then he continued to message me and actually said, "I saw you walking down the road." And I thought, oh my God, this is really creepy. Let me click on his profile to see who he is, because it's not every day somebody says, I actually know where you live, you know. So I clicked on his profile and I saw his children, and I thought, oh my God, that is the man who is married to the woman who hates me, the woman that glares at me and makes me feel so sick and uncomfortable when I'm just walking down the road. You know, she makes me feel so uneasy and judged and looked down upon. So I thought to myself, like, well, this is her husband and he's messaged me and it's inappropriate, he's married. Should I tell this woman that hates me what her husband is doing, or does she already know what he's doing, and does she see how he looks at me and that's why she hates me? You know, is it my place to get involved in a marriage and actually say, you know, this is out of order? Or will I be blamed then for actually causing a marriage to break down because I've acknowledged another person doing this? So I actually didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. I thought, it's not my place. I do not know these people and I haven't asked for this. So I will not respond. I will not tell this woman. And, you know, that is what it is. I look at girl code. I look at, if I had a partner that was doing that, if I had a partner that was in a relationship with me, a marriage with me, had a family with me, and was messaging other women asking to meet up, would I want to know that my partner was doing that to me? Yes, I would. I would like to know that, you know, I can either trust him or I can't. I'd like to know that what he is telling me is the truth. So, you know, there's this really big division, and I think I don't want to get that reputation of stealing husbands. I've never stolen a husband. I've never cheated on anybody or broken up a relationship to take somebody's partner. Not at all. But I get as well that when you look a certain way, people are going to look at you quite awfully. And actually a journalist phoned me and said, how do you view yourself? Or what do you think of yourself? Are you beautiful? Are you amazing? You have a load of followers online. You know, they think you're special. Do you think you're special? And what I actually said was, if you rate somebody on a scale of 1 to 10, which I put on my social media, rate my shoes out of 10, rate the blue sky out of 10. Tell me how much you love this, or tell me how much it isn't for you. I've never said rate my appearance out of 10, because whilst it's good to open discussion and ask people their thoughts and feelings on different aspects of life, I've never judged appearances. So when this journalist said to me, how do you rate yourself out of 10? I said a 5, because to me, 5 is neutral. 0 to 5 is unattractive, 5 to 10 is above average attractive. I don't see myself in that arena. I see myself as me. And what's attractive to other people might not be attractive to some people. So actually, as long as you are happy in yourself, you don't need to feel beautiful or ugly. You just need to feel yourself. So this was then twisted in the media, as it always is, with somebody writing that I've had lots of surgery and I still don't feel beautiful enough. Scratch that. I've never said that. I've never tried to look beautiful. I've never classified myself as being beautiful, because I was bullied awfully as a child for being unattractive. So I'm not sitting here with an ego. I'm not sitting here thinking I'm God's gift. I don't sit staring in the mirror all day. I mean, today I didn't even put on makeup. I haven't done my hair. I just had a shower. But I knew there would be more criticism. I then look at what has been said around the world about me, saying that women think I will steal their husbands. And, you know, I have been in that position where I was with a partner many years ago now who used to stare at every woman that walked past, and we would be holding hands, walking down the street, an attractive woman would go by and he would be like breaking his neck to look at this stunning woman. And me as a partner, when he would do that, I would feel really upset and think, you know, am I not enough for you? You find her more attractive than you do me, because you're literally breaking your neck to look at her, and it's not a nice situation to be in. I'm sure the same works for men. If you're with your partner and a really hunky guy walks by and your partner then looks at him, would you feel insecure? Would you feel unhappy about that? I get why people feel that way. I see an attractive woman walk past now and I think, oh wow, I love her shoes, or she's so pretty, and I admire. You know, I don't feel jealous, I don't feel insecure, I don't compare myself to her, I admire her. And I think if I had now been dating the partner from the past who used to stare at other women and make me feel insecure, I think now I wouldn't have that same insecurity, if that makes sense. I'm old enough now to actually be able to compliment others rather than feel jealous. And there's actually a lovely lady that comes up to me in the gym. She is so, so wonderful. And she has her husband and they're training together. And I think, you know, they are couple goals. They are both far older than me, but actually they come up to me and they say, how's your workout? You're looking really good. Good for you. And I think, oh my God, it's a married couple being nice to a younger woman who's on her own. And good for them for having that solidarity in their relationship where they don't feel threatened and angry by anybody else around them. They are happy and content in themselves and they can be kind to other people. And that's something that I think is really an individual thing. You know, we are all ourselves, we are all unique. And if we feel insecure in ourselves, that's going to come out when we are around others. So like this school mum walking past me, the journalist actually said to me, do you think she's jealous of you? Do you think she is threatened by you because you are younger and you are blonde and you are this and you are that? And I said, there is no reason to feel jealous of me because we are all equal. We are all individuals. Nobody is better or worse. You can't judge somebody in their 40s or 50s against someone in their 20s or 30s. You can't say that somebody is, you know, more attractive because they're younger, or more attractive because they're slimmer, more attractive because they're taller. You can't say these things because to everybody, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I do know, yes, having tattoos and being a mum, being on the school run, other mums don't have tattoos. Other mums might not have blonde hair or red hair. Other mums might not wear pink, but that's my choice and it's my life. And it's what I choose to do. I had that life before where I hid away in baggy clothes and I never made eye contact with anybody and I was so insecure and had no self-esteem. And that didn't work out great for me because I was constantly suffering. Whereas now I've found peace and happiness in myself. I'm kind to everybody, I smile at everybody. Whilst I might not know them and I might not speak to them, I still put across a warm and inviting expression. Just because that's who I am as a person. You know, I'm not flirting, I'm not having inappropriate conversations with anybody, and I don't reply to DMs. So even when people's husbands message me, they're not going to get anywhere with that. And they should know better. But equally, it's not my place to police relationships that are misbehaving. You know, if a partner is looking elsewhere, ultimately it's not the person that they're looking at, but it's the relationship they're looking away from that needs fixing. And a lot of people stay together with people who do not respect or appreciate or deserve them because they are scared of being alone. Because, you know, you've been together since you were kids, or you're now in your 40s or 50s or 60s, and you think, I'm not going to meet somebody else. You know, I'm past my sell-by date. Will anybody love me if I left my partner? I think really what we have to do is look inwards and understand what we need to be happy. And I have discovered personally that the best way to be happy is not to include other people in your life. It's to find your peace and your self-acceptance within. And once you are comfortable with yourself, then you can be comfortable with other people. You can allow people to love you and for you to love them. But first of all, you have to make peace with yourself. Now, I've been through surgeries, which I have not hidden at all. You see a lot of celebrities online who have had lip fillers and Botox and surgeries. They deny it, they pretend they haven't, they pretend they're naturally perfect. And I think that gives a false representation to younger generations, present generations, of what is beautiful and what is acceptable. You know, thinking that these supermodels on the front cover of magazines are just naturally that way. No, it takes a lot of hard work, if not a lot of money. So yes, when I have had surgery, I feel as a mother, as a woman, when I do my research into things that I would like to have done, whether that's Botox or fillers, whether I have my hair highlighted or I have a breast augmentation, I want to know that it's safe. I want to know that it's secure, and I want to know that the surgeon I'm using or the practitioner I'm using is skilled. So I then share that information with others. So if they're in the same position as me, where they think I want to try something different, you know, it might be a mother that's had 3 children and they want a tummy tuck. Even though I haven't had a tummy tuck, you know, if I was researching that, I would think, is it safe? Is it something that I can afford? Is it something that needs upkeep? How do I know that the aftercare is appropriate? How can I minimize risks? I look at all of these factors. So when I'm covering surgical or aesthetic procedures, I make sure that I answer the questions that I would have asked myself. And in sharing that with others, in sharing my individual results, hopefully I'm giving them the information and understanding that they need to know if it is right for them or not. I think most people want to have something different about themselves, want to change something. It doesn't mean to say that you should be unhappy the way you are, but if you would like to do something differently, know that you can. It's your body and it's your choice. A lot of people will change their hair, a lot of people will change their clothes. Most people these days have had some form of aesthetic treatment, whether that's a skin peel, Botox, fillers, different procedures for anti-aging, restoring that volume that you lose with age, you know, that plumpness and youthfulness, and that youthful glow. You know, most people these days, it's readily available. They do it. Whether people admit it or not is a completely different story. You know, you see ladies now in their 60s and they look better than they did in their 30s or their 40s. And you think, how do they look so young? Some people deny, you know, oh, you know, it's just good genes. Other people actually say, yes, I have had this done. But the majority of life nowadays, most people have had some form of aesthetic or surgical procedure. It's become normal and acceptable. So, you know, people look at me and they judge how I look, which isn't very nice to happen. You know, I'm on social media, I get a lot of messages on a daily basis. 9 times out of 10, they are directed towards how I look. I happen to be happy with how I look. Would I have a facelift in 10 years? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, I haven't crossed that bridge yet, but when I'm at that point and stage in life, if it's something that would make me happy, I would do it. And if it's something that I think I don't want or I don't need, then I won't do it. It's really as simple as that. You either want it and choose to have it, or you don't want it and you choose not to have it. And we should all have that choice to any extent, whether that's the choice of what you wear on a daily basis, or the choice of if you modify your body in some way, if you have a piercing or a tattoo or a hair dye. We all should have those choices from one end of the scale to the other, from completely natural to fully extremely glam and made up. So yeah, a lot of people then say, where I've had different surgeries, I've had rhinoplasty, I've had laser eye surgery, I've had my lips filled, I've had breast augmentation, I have a labiaplasty, I have a BBL, all these different reasons, which, you know, it would take me a lifetime to go into. Most of them were medical, but then some of them actually became cosmetic when I got used to the sensation of having surgery and actually saying, do you know what, this would make a big difference. 2 surgeries that I would like to have coming up are bunion removal, because that has actually hurt me for many years, and also an eyelid reduction, which, yes, it isn't necessary. Of course it's not necessary, but it's something that I would like to do. You know, it's not to please others. It's not that I feel unhappy without it, but it's something I would like to do. I'd also like to go on holiday. I would also like to ride a bike. I would also like to bake a cake. You know, some of these things are very mundane and small, and some are absolutely life-changing. But we have the capacity to decide if it's right for us or not. And we shouldn't be dictated by others for how we should look and what we should do. And actually, when people tell me, you know, that they don't like how I look, I think it's very sad that you could put that negativity onto another person. I would never go up to somebody and tell them that I don't think they're attractive, that I don't like how they look, or that their appearance offends me. So many people say, why do you have tattoos? They're disgusting. And I just say, well, don't look. If it's not for you, don't look. You know, when I'm at the gym, I see people that are quite insecure, who are not in the shape that they want to be in, that they want to lose weight or tone up or build muscle. So they feel that they haven't reached a part of their life where they're happy yet with their appearance. And I know that they look at me and, you know, I'm quite cheerful, I'm in bright colours, I'm working out, I'm confident. And I know they kind of look at me and feel that they have a long way to go. You know, that they feel less of a person for not being where I'm at in my confidence. And that's what makes me love them all the more. That's what makes me smile and talk to people, talk to everybody, and to make them realise that my journey, where I am today, could be day 7,000 in my progress. You know, theirs could be day 200. So you can't judge yourself in that respect, you know, against other people, against where they're at. You have to see your own progress, where you began and where you are now. And yeah, I think just because I've had people help me, it makes me want to help others. When I turned to bodybuilding after having an emergency breast reconstruction, being a single mother, feeling absolutely destroyed mentally, emotionally, physically, to then go on and become a bodybuilding professional, to get my pro card in natural bodybuilding competitions, it was such a big achievement for me. And you know, the people that trained me were all very successful, strong, confident athletes with huge muscles and bags of energy. And I remember at the time thinking, I'm just a scrawny mum, you know, I'm here and you're there in comparison. But then actually I've grown to realise when you are confident in yourself, when you are happy in yourself, you have that capacity to help others, to elevate them and lift them up. And you know, you don't have that when you're feeling insecure, when you feel like you haven't achieved your goals. You feel like you can't help yourself and you can't help others. But when you build this growth and self-worth, suddenly you can help everybody. And it's a position in life that we all have to get to. We have to find our way naturally to where we need to be, so we are content in our everyday, that we live with love and positivity in all we do, and that we are kind to others just as we are ourselves. Because you can be your own worst critic. You can be the person that looks in the mirror and finds a million faults with yourself. And if you're thinking and feeling that, ultimately people are going to treat you that way. They're going to see this kind of insecurity in you, almost like a dog smelling fear. And they will pick that out of you and bring it to the surface and make you emotional. So actually what we can do is look inwards. We can say, what do I need to be happy? Whilst for me, you know, surgery and aesthetics were a choice. I didn't need them to be happy. I was happy before having any procedures, happy in myself and accepting of myself. But equally, you know, if I want to buy a new pair of shoes or a new car or have my eyebrows tinted or have my legs waxed, I can do that without feeling judged, without feeling like I'm trying to be perfect, because I'm really not. If that was the case, I would try to look different to who I am. But all I'm doing is looking like me, but a more polished version of me. And that really is just self-love and self-care. You know, I could look, you know, people say like Kylie Jenner, where she's almost unrecognizable from years ago. She is still the same person. She has had treatments. A lot she has denied. But she is criticised on a daily basis for how she looks, judged. She makes money from how she looks. So you can see why she has made these changes. And not everybody will make changes for the same reason. Some people may think that, you know, the answer to their prayers is to be different to who they are. Other people might say the answer to your prayers is to be precisely who you are and not change a thing. I think that as we grow, we have different intentions in life. When we are a teenager, we are different to our early 20s, our early 30s, 40s, 50s and beyond. We kind of come to realise that, you know, we're not trying to be the best. We're not trying to be the skinniest, the most beautiful, the most successful. We are trying to do our best. So that may be to, you know, what I personally like to do is study every year. Since lockdown, I've learned a new language. I've learned to speak Hungarian, and I'm shortly about to take my yoga exams. So each year I like to grow as a person through education, through understanding and broadening my horizons to understand that, life shouldn't stagnate. It needs to change. It needs to grow and progress. And the way to do that is just to explore and experiment and try different things. And then you realize, actually, you may have thought that you were fine here, but when you tried something different, it opens a new door. You feel completely elevated, and you could have quite happily led this life, but you're so grateful that you found this life. And it might be right for you, it might not be. What's the worst that can happen? You say, okay, I tried it, it didn't work, it's not for me. I'll go back to something that I love, or try something else to see how I feel about that. And we shouldn't be put off or shut off by other people. We should not feel that we can't be ourselves, because at the end of the day, all we have is ourselves. So, when people judge me and say, she's had surgery, but she looks awful, or my wife is better looking than her because she's natural, and even though she's older, she looks good for growing old gracefully, different things like that, I just think, what kind of person would judge somebody on how they look? Because it says more about them than it does the person they're judging. So it's one of those things that, hey ho, I can't stop what people write about me. I can't take how press twist things and cause headlines and give you this false perception about somebody that really has nothing to do with them. So I'm thankful that I have social media, that I can share my thoughts with you. I don't think that we should be jealous of anybody at any age or any stage of life. We should just look at ourselves where we are and compare where we were yesterday to where we are today. And if you like where you are, brilliant. If you're unhappy or not quite fulfilled with where you are, keep going, keep trying new things, keep experimenting and exploring, because you will find something that fits. When you sit there, when you stagnate, when you don't feel good enough, when you have low self-esteem, low self-worth, and you lose your self-belief, life will only remain stagnant. You will be in that bubble and that downward spiral. So elevate yourself, try new things, learn to love yourself and accept yourself. And if people don't like how you look, don't be around those people. Because for everybody that treats you bad, you will have somebody that will treat you well. So move away from that negativity and fill your days with love, light and positivity. It's the best way to live, and it's absolutely life-changing. So I hope my rant has made some kind of an explanation for what you probably have seen about me in the media recently. I hope that you can actually get to know the real me, and not just these kind of selfies that people use to write a headline and portray me in a certain way, because that isn't me and never will be me. So I appreciate that you can actually spend this time to watch this video and maybe take away a little bit of mindfulness, that you can be a bit more grateful throughout your life and your day. And if you are thinking of doing something different, whether that is something as simple as changing your hair or having surgery, I hope that you do your research. I hope that you see the reasons behind it are the right reasons, that you're doing it for yourself and by yourself, not to please others and not under the duress of others forcing you to be different. And if it's for you, that's great. If it's not for you, that's also great. Whatever makes you happy is what matters most. So until next time, guys, take care, be kind to others and yourself, and I will see you all soon.